How's it going, Jimmy?
It's going, brother. It's going.
We got Jimmy Lavender in the house today, and we're going to start off talking about your friend Jamal.
Let's talk about Jamal.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you've been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby. Kev Mac video. You know, this is for sure. For sure. Kev Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Kev Mac video. You know, this is for sure. For sure. Kev Mac video. Open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
I talked to Jamal maybe about 7 months ago.
So one of the latest topics on YouTube would be about Jamal. So you were telling me that he was a nice guy, a good guy.
Jamal was. Jamal is my friend. Will always be my friend. I think Jamal is a misunderstood person, and I think what happens is a lot of people don't really know Jamal, speaks on Jamal, and other people piggyback on what they say and don't know the man. I've heard so many people in interviews say so many bad things about him, and then at the same time, I never met the man. So that's not good.
So basically, people repeating what somebody else told them, or they making their own false narratives.
Exactly.
Do you think people nowadays is talking about Jamal would say these things to him back in the days?
Of course not. Of course not. They probably would have walked behind Jamal like 90% of the other people did. And it's to me, it's a sad truth. Jamal once was like, I want to say the forerunners for the Crips. Big muscles, overalls hanging out, braids coming down, H2 hat, earrings down here. And he made them look hard. And they were already hard. And let me say this. I'm lost for his name right now, but he's 8 Trey and recently died. Mustard Cody said the early non-Crips had to be hard because the early Crips was hard. He was correct. Give it to him. They were big, strong, they were hard. And most of them, guess what? Walked behind Jamal. So it has to tell you something. Jamal had to be hard. They walked behind him. But now we have people who know nothing about him, and those who know that is not standing up for Jamal. So I think it's just bad to go after him the way they're going after him after he did so much, frankly, for the Crips. And now they do him the way they do him. I think that's wrong.
In the early 1970s, would you say Jamal was one of the top 5 or top 3? What would you rank Jamal as far as notoriety back in the early 70s?
You got to put Jamal in the top 5. You got to put him in the top 5. And maybe even the top 3. You could put him behind Raymond, Tookie, and Jamal.
Interesting. Did you and Jamal ever have any run-ins once the blue and the red came in?
Jamal and I would never never have a run-in. We would never fight one another. See, Cap, I'm like this. I don't care what village you're from. I don't care what you call yourself. If you call yourself my friend, I don't care where you're from. I'm good with you. And so, no, I said before, I don't fight my friends, man.
Right. I remember that. You guys used to give each other passes. A friend was a friend.
A friend was a friend, man. I mean, hey, look, I hit hard. I hit hard, and I could never hit a friend like I would somebody I didn't know. So it's not a fair fight. So I wouldn't. I walk away first. Yeah.
I know you spoke to this before, but how do you feel about the conversation resurfacing about Crips starting off as protecting their community?
The biggest lie ever told. Biggest lie ever told. My question to that would be a question with a question is protecting themselves from who? From who? I heard someone say protecting themselves from the spook hunters. Mm-hmm. That can't be true because the spook hunters was no longer around by 1960. After the Crips came out 9 years later. So it wasn't to protect themselves against them. The avenues wouldn't be the ones that they had to protect themselves against because Raymond himself was hanging around with the avenues. They didn't have no problem with the avenues. The only other group in that area was the McCoys. They didn't have no problem with the McCoys. Who? I was there. I lived in that area. They had no problems with nobody.
So to you, it's a bunch of revisionist approach to romanticizing the origin of the Crips after the fact.
Exactly. No doubt.
In reality, the Crips formed in the summer of '69 on the east side of South Central by students of Fremont and Edison and was Drew Junior High School.
I would say no to Drew.
Okay.
I would say no to. I went to Drew, and we lived across the tracks. And in 1970, our crew, Clyde Clay, Jimmy Lavender, Space Ghost, Dino, Pookie, Earl Palmer, we ran Drew. And if you look at my panorama picture in 1970, you will see no Crips on that picture. And I can produce that photo.
But a lot of eventual leaders went to school with you, right?
Oh, yeah.
And founders.
Oh, yeah. I know them all.
So the Crips were, would you say was a fact that they were marching into other schools and other neighborhoods trying to turn people into Crips?
Let me answer it this way. Raymond Washington, the Crips didn't make Raymond Washington's name. When Raymond was 14 years old, he was known from Washington Boulevard all the way to Long Beach. Raymond was already known. He had a big name before the Crips. And the reason the Crips was able to spread so fast was because of Raymond's name. And Raymond wasn't going pretty much to one individual at a time. He was going to the shot caller of that neighborhood. He knew them all. And like he came to our neighborhood. He didn't come to me. He went to Bobby. So Raymond knew who to go to. And that way he could turn that whole neighborhood out by getting that one person at a time. And that's why they expanded so fast, and it was hundreds of them like overnight.